Alabama football coach Kalen DeBoer hits the road in Alabama, starting to pick up some recruiting wins, and we're going to talk about that with former Alabama quarterback Jake Coker and also my partner on Roll Tide Pod's Elephant in the Room podcast. All of that coming up right now on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Roll Tide. What do you say, everybody? With Jake Coker, I'm Mick Gillispie. Hey, make sure that you like and follow. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Jake, great to see you. And Alabama's Coach DeBoer starting to pick up some wins on the recruiting trail. I'm just laughing because what you guys don't know is there's always a technical issue every time you do a show.
Yeah, that's right.
You sound great now.
You missed out on a lot of content right there.
The problem was it was perfect, but I just didn't know that.
No, coach is figuring it out. You know, he's finally, I think, got a hold on the recruits that were iffy about coming to Alabama. The guys like Ryan Williams who kind of second guessed the transition. You listen to the guy in interviews, you see him on TV, you see him making speeches. I think he's got the right formula for success. I think guys see a lot of continuity in him, a lot of consistency. And, you know, again, I know the big hit is he's from Washington. He's not from Alabama or the South and doesn't have an understanding of the SEC. But to me, that really doesn't hold a whole lot of weight because the guy showed up, he replaced Coach Saban, and he knew what he was getting into. He was going to have a lot of drive showing up here.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage to come over here, come to Alabama and take the place of Coach Saban. So you got to appreciate that and welcome him with open arms because it could have been a lot. I mean, it was a great hire, but we could have been really in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Well, I've been there before through some of these coaching hires where, you know, you think you got someone and then all of a sudden it ends up going weeks and weeks and weeks.
Well, when you've got a good thing going, you're just in the playoff and you leave to come to Alabama, that says you want to be here and you're going to invest yourself in this program and you're here to make a name for yourself.
I thought Ryan Williams committing to Alabama again was a big deal.
I don't think there will ever be another. I say this, you know, Julio was kind of the iconic Alabama recruit.
He's one of our favorite all-time guys.
So I don't think, to me, or personally, there will never be a guy like Julio again because he meant so much to Alabama when he committed to Alabama. But if there was a comparison in terms of a momentous moment, I would say this is it. You know, Ryan Williams, I think, is going to be a big turning point for a lot of recruits. A lot of guys are going to want to come play with him, and he validates Kalen DeBoer as a recruiter and the long-term answer for Alabama. So, I mean, it's a small win. I'm not saying, you know, it's not like he just, you know, went 12-0, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's a step that showed possible success in the future with him. Well, secure top-ranked recruits like that.
Oh, right. And coming down to South Alabama where we're at and getting after it. I mean, Nick Saban took South Alabama back. Remember, before he got there, the Crimson Tide didn't do great down here.
Yeah.
And then Nick Saban came. And now, you know, Coach DeBoer, one of the first things he did with Coach Womack was get on the road, go to places like Saraland and like St. Paul.
Yeah. I mean, South Alabama it's a hotbed for recruits. We've had this Mobile. I've had this argument with a lot of guys that I've played with over the years. Per capita, it's one of the best cities in the country in terms of talent. You think about the guys that have come out of here in all sports, really. If you don't dominate Alabama, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I feel like that's it. And you want to win the Iron Bowl, you better have a lot of Alabama guys on the team because it just matters a lot. And then once you get through it a couple times or one time, you realize that. But I don't know that if you grew up from somewhere else, you really get the vibe of it. I didn't understand it until I went the first time.
People don't understand the intensity behind it. And Auburn plays to another level of intensity. They play out of their minds in that game every year. And usually, especially in the last 10 years, Alabama's been the team with everything to lose. And that makes Auburn's season is let's ruin Alabama's season.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very important to lock in those guys from Alabama that understand that rivalry, understand the intensity behind it, and realize that that's a lot of their legacy that they leave at Alabama is based upon whether they beat Alabama or beat Auburn. And so getting these in-state guys, the big name guys, that's a vital piece of being successful in the state.
Yeah, no doubt. One guy that has done a great job in recruiting, and we talk about great recruiters at Alabama. Nick Saban always had a staff of guys that were good at that job. But there's one guy that in this Ryan Williams recruitment that has gone above and beyond to help Alabama in a time of need, and that's Roll Tide Willie.
Blitz, Bama Blitz.
Yeah.
Baby.
Great job. Did you see the video with him and Ryan Williams? He's at the basketball games now. I mean, we're just fans of his, man. We're living in his world.
You know, I know that, people, I know he catches hell, but I love
Me too.
Roll Tide Willie. You got to love guys like that. Love Alabama, all about it. Have grown up loving it. It's a lifestyle. And he embodies that.
Yeah.
You got to love it, That's what makes it so special.
Yeah. Well, you saw the video when he was with Ryan Williams, and you're like, there's no way you can go to Auburn. You can't go to Texas when Roll Tide Willie's got his arm around you. He's bringing you into the Blitz, Bama Blitz.
Ryan Williams like, I'm on offense.
Yeah, right. We need to get him in here for a show.
I bet he'd show up.
That'd be great.
I bet he'd show up.
Well, congratulations for a great week to Coach DeBoer. He's going to be on the road, obviously, trying to re-recruit some of the guys that decommitted, and I'm sure, and the last thing we'll talk about is the uncertainty that you would have with a new head coach coming in. And it felt like the first 10 or 11 days, it was all about just trying to get his footing under him. But I feel like Coach DeBoer has done that, and it's been impressive to watch all of the places that he's ended up.
Well, we talked about this before too. All the guys that stuck around that embody all of the culture that is Alabama, love Alabama, want to hold Alabama together and try to make a playoff run again and stay in that conversation. It's going to be fun watching these guys. It's going to be fun to watch the guys that deserve to be paid through their loyalty to Alabama through NIL. You get to watch those guys lead, and those are the kind of guys that are going to play their ass off, whether they're getting paid or not. And then you're going to have a bunch of really, really hungry guys that are a little unproven. This is going to be a fun Alabama team to watch. This is the kind of Alabama team, the hard hat, blue collar.
Like those guys.
It's the mentality Nate Oates has brought to the basketball team. We're going to have that kind of mentality on the football team. And you love to see it. There's nothing I like to see more than like this team this past year. Overcame a lot of odds, fought through it as a team, was unified under all the scrutiny that they received, and proved a lot of people wrong and probably should have been national champions. Didn't quite make it, but it was a team you're really, really proud of at the end of the year, despite not winning the national title.
Very quiet week for us on Elephant in the Room, the podcast, but make sure you check it out. And thank you for hanging out with us here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Hey, let me remind you guys that newlifeart.com, use the promo code Bama Tailgate. You get 15% off any regularly priced item. That could include your 2015 Daniel Moore National Championship print. Thanks, Jake, and we'll talk to you again next week. Roll Tide, everybody.